What is up, my nerd familia, and welcome back to another episode of Games y Mas, the podcast where we're talking about all things board games, video games, and a little bit of pop culture. I'm your host, Vic, and today we are doing another Let's Talk About It. We're going to segment where we sit down, have some tacos, we give them a little rating, and talk about some segments, talk about different topics every time we do this. And this topic today, we're going to be talking about family-friendly board games, games that are that you can play with your family, that you can play with kids, that you can teach, and they'll be easy to pick up and learn. And yeah, very excited to talk about that. We got Raul back here again.
What's going on, everybody?
Sad Boy Swaggins back here again on the podcast. We're going to talk, board games, our favorite topic to talk about for sure.
100%, man.
Yeah, and then we're going to be eating some tacos as two great things, amazing things and stuff like that. So if this is your first time watching or listening, wherever you're listening or tuning in, I just want to say thank you so much for listening and for tuning in to our little humble podcast here where we just talk about all things, you know, as we said in the intro, board games and video games and pop culture. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as those YouTubers would say. Leave a comment below what you thought about this episode. And yeah, you can follow us on all socials. We're on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts or watch them as well on video. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Give us 5-star ratings. Leave a comment below. Let's improve that algorithm and let's get our nerd family to grow because we want more people in the community to join us. Join our nerd familia. So yeah, don't forget to do that. And if you're returning watching, thank you again so much for being a supporter here. And so very excited to dive in to some tacos before they get cold and some board games. So with all that being said, pull up a chair, grab some dice y acompáñame a jugar. So, are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
Ready to talk some board games here. So we have some tacos. For those that are watching for the first time ever and don't know what is going on here, what is Taco About? Let's talk about it. What Let's Talk About It is a segment that we do here on the podcast where we talk about, we review pretty much tacos. Not only tacos, we like to branch out to like other types of food. I mean, I want to do some wings sometimes.
Ooh,
you know, let's
wings.
wing it or something.
Hey, that's a good idea.
That's a good one. Let's wing it. Yeah, so let's wing it or some other types. We can always branch out on foods, but we're doing tacos because we love tacos. And so today we're talking about tacos and board games. Not always is going to be tacos and board games. When we first started Let's Talk About It, we had our buddy Nick Hayner on the podcast. We talked about his life as a working actor and a stuntman. His projects that he's worked on, and we got to talk about some tacos as well. So it's not always going to be about board games. If you're wondering, like, oh, I don't want to listen to board games while they eat tacos, it'll be different segments. But today we're going to do again board games. We did one again with Raul where we talked about board game lingo. Mm-hmm. For those that are interested, that if you have any board game friends that are probably throwing out words like Euro or deck builders, worker placement, Forex games, stuff like that, and you're wondering what are they talking about? What is AP? What in the world is AP? Mm-hmm. Check out that episode. We did that. We talked about board game lingo. We kind of give you an introduction. Again, we're not experts, but we kind of know a little bit of the lingo being in the world of community, in the community of board gaming. So if that's something you're interested in listening, go check that out. But today we're going to be talking about family-friendly games. Tacos that we have here are from Brick and Flour. Ever heard of them? Have you ever had them before?
Never had them before, and I've never heard of them before.
Okay, so apparently they're pretty good here in the Southern California area. I'm not sure. I'll probably look it up if they're like a franchise, but apparently they're pretty good tacos, decent tacos. So very excited to talk some tacos here, talk some board games. We want to give a special shout out to one of our listeners who requested this episode, actually. We have it here. It's Arnulfo, Arnie, Nemus. Arnulfo 1942. I don't know what's so special about 1942, but let us know, Arnie, what's so special about 1942. But yeah, you left a comment below letting us know that if we could do an episode about games for parents, they get into with their kids.
Nice.
So that's some family. So this episode's for you, my man, and for anyone that's also interested, for you there. But goes to show that if you guys are interested in more content, leave a comment below. We'd be happy to do some more episodes for that as well. We just got to put them in the queue. So sorry, Arnie, if this took a minute. We had some other episodes we got to get to, but we're finally doing this for you guys. Let's go ahead and get started with some tacos before we dive into some friendly board games.
Sounds good.
So what we got here? So we got some
pollito and some asadita.
Yeah, we got some. I'm sad they didn't give us any salsa. So come on, Brick and Flour. Give me some salsa next time.
It's already a little minus point on it.
I know, right? You got
what's a taco with some salsa, man?
Exactly. So this is right here what is considered their house special.
Okay.
It's like top shore loin, like steak or something, whatever.
Shoot.
We got chicken. We got al pastor. I ordered us some extra carne asadas if we're a little hungry. It looks like it has salsa in there, but so I'll let you do the honors. Which one you want to choose first?
Ooh, I always love me a good asada.
Asada, you want to
So
go?
let's
asada?
try the asada
So
first.
grab an asada for me, man. Let's see what we got here. While he's grabbing the asada, yeah, we're gonna be talking about board games that are family friendly esque games that if you're a parent watching, are curious, want to get into some board. Oh, geez, want to get into some board games with your kids. We'll talk about some games. Again, we're not super experts, being that we both don't have kids, so we're not super. I want to say like, no, this is our say. We're the experts and say this, but we've had instances where we play with nephews, cousins, siblings, and we've been able to introduce these games to them, and they've enjoyed it. So we have some knowledge a little bit on that.
I've had some friends over. They've brought their kids, and I'm on babysitter duty while my girlfriend and her girlfriends are kind of hanging out. So I'll pull out a board game and play with them and see what they are able to, I guess you could say, grasp,
Right.
and have fun. And generally, for the most part, as long as it looks cute and they've got some fun pieces to play with,
Yeah.
depending on the age of the kid, they generally can enjoy themselves.
For sure.
But there are some definitely where it's simple enough, yet mentally stimulating enough
yes.
that it definitely will captivate their attention.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy seeing that little sparkle in their eye
when
when
they're enjoying the game.
they get it and they're having fun, and you're like, oh,
That's what it's,
future board gamer
that's
right
what
here.
it's about right there. Yeah, exactly. But let's dive into these tacos real quick. Go ahead, Leonard.
All right, man, let's have a bite. You know what, bro? This is good. The asada seasoned really nicely. I would like some more salsa, but so far the flavor is pretty good. They're not overly salty. Salsa has a pretty good flavor. The tortilla has a little snap to it, so I'm wondering, like, are these like handmade or are they like freshly pressed or something? Or maybe these are flour tortillas. I'm used to more to like the corn tortillas, a bit of a more how do you say, not so much chewy.
Yeah.
But this is good. I actually pretty much I like this quite a bit.
I am digging the carne asada. Not a big fan of the flour tortilla, but I mean brick and flour. So, because when it comes to the tortillas, I appreciate a corn tortilla for sure. But it's not bad. Like you were saying, the carne asada is really good, seasoned nice. Yes, I wish I could have some more salsa, but I think they put enough to like not be dry. But I like it a little soggy, a little bit wet on the carne asada here. But very good. Not too bad. So we're off to a good start with the carne asada here. Delicious here. Which we can start now off with something simple with the board gaming appetizer games, little appetizer games here. I want to throw out a game. You might, for those that are watching, maybe you can see we have on our table here. We have a couple games that we put out that we think are family friendly as games. If you can see, if not, we'll explain it. I want to start off with talking about Sea Salt and Paper. I think that's a fun game. Sea Salt and Paper is a card game, 2 to 4 player game. What do you consider Sea Salt and Paper?
Set collecting.
Set collecting, yes, big on set collecting, where you're trying to get as much points before your other player does by placing cards down, placing matching cards or duo cards as they call them. You'll have like a shark card, and if you play a shark card and a swimmer card, that allows you to do an action where you can steal a card from somebody else. Or if you play 2 fishes, I believe you can draw a card from the discard pile. Or is it the crabs? I forgot.
The crabs allow you, discard pile. The fish, I think, allow you to take a card from the top of the deck.
On top, yes.
And then I forget, the boats give you an extra turn. I think Sea Salt and Paper is a really good example of a game that's really simple, super straightforward, but it has a good amount of like depth to it. That once you start like planning things out and you start looking at the other player and kind of looking at what they're collecting, seeing what might be going on, you can start planning ahead of time, kind of like what you're going to be doing. Some cards, it is a lot of luck to it, but you go into it with like, hey, I'm going to have a good time. I think it's a good introductory game, I think, for like board games, card games, and definitely kids.
Oh, no, I agree 100%. Yeah, it's a fun game where, it's not too complex, but it's also not super simple. Your turn is really easy. Just draw a card and play cards, and that's it. You don't have to like do this A, B, and C or whatever you need to do. Pandasaurus Games made this game, which made one of my favorite games is Dinosaur Island. I love Dinosaur Island. But yeah, they made a good game with Sea Salt and Paper.
The artwork.
The artwork is nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Origami, nice, cool little features. Not too expensive of a game. I think you can get it for like $15 or like $16 on Amazon. I forgot how much I paid for it. I got it at one of the cons that we went to. Fun game. You get a little salty though sometimes if your game's super competitive. So if your kids are very competitive, this is a very competitive game that you'll be playing. And I enjoy it. I think it's a good game to play for sure. A good introduction game, just like you said, Ro. It's a fun game. So check that out. Seesaw on Paper. I'll try to leave links below on like Amazon links or places that you can get these games if you guys are interested in. But if any parents are out there that are board games that have played Seesaw on Paper, let us know in the comments below. This is a great family game. It's very limited to 4 players, so if you have a big family, you might need to pass up on this one. Or if you have a small family or playing with siblings, it might be a fun one to play. But let's finish up this talk. Do you got a recommendation you want to throw out?
I love Harmonies. Harmonies is a fun one. I would highly recommend it. It is a little bit more on the complicated side, only in that it's a big spatial puzzle game where you're going to be getting pieces that represent different different, what would you call it? Like pieces of nature.
Yeah,
like
ecosystems, I guess. Yeah.
You'll be building like trees of different heights, mountain ranges. You're basically building out your own custom little forest. And the cards have these cute little images on them of different animals. And they're going to have different patterns on them that you're going to be trying to build on your own personal little player board as you're taking these little pieces from the center of an available pool. If you've played Azul, it's very similar to that. You're grabbing all the pieces in an available pool, and then you're taking those 3 pieces and you're putting them on your board. And you're just alternating, trying to fulfill these things. On top of the animals cards that you're getting, trying to fulfill those patterns, you are also scoring generalized points based off of just general patterns. I'm trying to think of like other words to explain it, but
Simple terms.
yeah, like for example, like you get points for like your large mountain ranges, but they have to be next to one another. Your longest river.
Yeah.
Every little flower grove that consists of 3 or more pieces is 5 points.
Yeah.
So you're trying to build this up on your little board, but on top of that, you have these animal cards that you're trying to squeeze in.
Yeah.
It can be it can be pretty difficult when you're getting really complicated patterns, but it's by no means a complicated game.
Yeah.
This is one definitely that like at the beginning, maybe like the younger kids might have a bit of a hard time getting the understanding for it. But like always, you're in it to have a good time. Board games are meant to be fun.
Yeah.
So it's 100% like, hey, I'm teaching these kids to play this game. And let's just let them play around a little bit. But eventually, once that little thing clicks for them, and they start actually putting those pieces together, I do think it's really cool, seeing them like once it clicks for them.
It's like a puzzle.
I love that moment for people. That's one of the most fun things about. I like teaching games.
Right.
Usually when we play a board game,
Yeah.
I like, hey, I'll read the rules and I'll teach you guys how to play it.
Yeah.
Because there's something satisfying about like when somebody goes like, "Oh, this is cool." I'm like, "Yes, like, it is."
You feel what we felt whenever we played these games. Exactly. Yeah.
There's something exciting about that, and I imagine like if you have kids, showing that to your kids is gonna be really fun. I love showing it to my girlfriend's friends' kids because it's like seeing that little moment on them. I'm like, that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's
When
a
they
pretty
click,
rewarding moment.
No, I agree. I think Harmonies is a fun one. It is a little bit on the complexity, a little bit, not too much, but it might take some getting used to for sure. Playing these games, especially Harmonies. But it's very simple. I mean, on your turn, you just grab some tiles and place them down on your board. And then you try to match the patterns of your creatures that you claimed, or maybe future creatures that you claimed. And then that's it. You just keep going until there's only 2 spaces left on your board, and that's pretty much it. And so Harmonies is a great one. What do you think? Do you think Harmonies or Azul? Which one do you think is more friendly-esque, more of a game?
They're both similar, but I would recommend Harmonies for a younger group of kids because Azul is going to be solely like pattern building.
Yeah.
And it's cool and it looks really pretty. But when I think of games to teach like a kid, I think like they're going to be very attracted to the artwork and the colors. And Azul has the colors, but Harmonies has like all the fun, like here's a cool little otter, cute little otter with like a rock on his belly and a clam. And you're trying to build this little like water and meadow pattern on your board for these little otters to live in.
Right.
And that whole little narrative, like I think like is more appealing to kids.
Okay.
So I think I would pick Harmonies for kids. Over
I would go the same. I think Harmonies is a bit more eye pleasing for kids to look at. Those really nice, it's cool, but it's just more like basic colors like reds and blues and like maybe some pattern designs which are pretty cool, like pattern designs, but it's not like very thematic like Harmonies would be, where you have like, you know, even the cover you have like a little lion on there and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. So check out Harmonies for sure. Let's move on to the next taco here. I want to try out that shrimp taco.
Okay, let's do it.
So go ahead and grab the shrimp taco. They look nice. I mean, if you want,
They look really good.
they look very pleasing. I don't know if you can catch it on the camera here for those, but like they look really like nice. Very
I got a good amount of what looks like green guac sauce.
edible art. But let's dive into these shrimp tacos.
Let's
Let's see
do
what we got
this,
here.
man.
What do you think?
That's good.
It's really good.
That's a good shrimp taco,
Yeah.
man. The cabbage has a nice crisp snap to it. The Savoya is good, and the Cajun seasoning or whatever that is on the shrimp, it's pretty fire. This is a pretty good taco.
This is a really good shrimp taco. These are really good shrimp tacos. Brick and Flour, you guys are good with shrimp tacos. I feel like they know. They know like we're going to rate their tacos, so they want to up it up a little bit. We talked about Harmonies. We talked about sea salt and paper. We have a couple more selections here of gaming here. It's not on here on the table, but we were talking about earlier. Sushi Party Go. Cool little fun game, but a lot of people can play where you're creating your best plates out of sushi and different types of sushi and, you know, appetizers. Yeah, you have edamame and, you know, wasabi and some like, you know, some gelato or some like ice cream. Easy game to explain, and it's a very competitive game, very fun game where you just play a card, move on, play a card, move on, play a card, and you're trying to build the best hand you can while you're playing. And so it's a really fun interactive game with it's not like a game where like you have your cards and then you play. It's like you play a card and you're passing your cards around. So you're passing cards around with everyone and you're playing the best combos you can. And what's fun about this game that I enjoy a lot, that it made me get, is a lot of replayability. A lot of different ways to play this game. It's not going to be boring and stale. You have different types of menu items that you can play with. I have the deluxe version, so it gave me like extra like deluxe items. The basic version, you can also have different replayability. But if you add like the expansions and stuff like that, you can play a lot. Sushi Party Go, a fun one. I can play up to I think like eight players. I forgot like player count number, but it's a pretty high player count number. So if you have a big family or cousins and stuff, siblings, this is a fun game to play for sure. Have you played Sushi Party Go?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that one?
I really like Sushi Party Go. It's one of my go-to party games when I got a lot of people over and maybe they're not like as into more complex games. Again, artwork's cute, tons of fun. You got these cute little sushi pieces with these little smiley faces. So it's really appealing to kids, artwork wise, and it'll introduce them to another cool mechanism. I really like card drafting.
Card drafting, yeah, card drafting.
You have a hand of cards. You pick one, you put it down, and then you pass the rest to the player to your left, and then you get a new hand of cards from the player to your right. And you're picking cards and playing them down like that. Mm-hmm. There's something about that is really, really satisfying. Seesaw and Paper being a set collecting, Harmonies, like a bit of, I don't know, like a tableau.
It's like tableau builder.
Yeah, like a pattern building game.
Yeah. Tile placement.
Tile placement, yeah. And then with this one, you got your card drafting mechanism, which is a really cool, not your run of the mill board game. Like when you teach a lot of kids board games, you think like Monopoly.
Yeah.
Roll some dice and move, which in essence, not bad. It's pretty good beginner game.
Pretty simple, yeah.
But like for a bit more like engagement, like I really like card drafting mechanisms. It's similar to another game called Wrong Party. I mentioned it to you a while ago.
Yeah.
It's a really cool game where it's like you got cool artwork. It's like you have people from a dungeon party, like, hey, we're going dungeon diving. And then you got people from an actual like birthday party. So you got the silly clown teamed up with your assassin, and he's like, "Oh shoot, I went to the wrong place," and he's stuck inside of a dungeon.
Yeah,
fun artwork, lots of cool colors, and you're collecting sets. You're collecting, all the purple costume characters really like to be with the yellow costume characters. If you manage to get the barbarian with the archer with the assassin all together, you get points for that.
Yeah.
And like, especially if kids are more like right now, that like a bit more of like that cool nerdy culture is becoming more popular.
Yeah, for sure.
Kids tend to like Dungeons and Dragons a lot.
Yeah.
So it has a bunch of cool like
elements.
artwork and stuff like that.
Yeah. No,
So-
definitely. No, definitely. Yeah, yeah. It's very card drafting is very fun. Very beginner esque mechanic in board games that I think you can play that are very enjoyable, not too complicated, and then you're in and out and you're done before you know it because you're just going. But yeah, Sushi Party Go definitely a fun game to play. Now that you mentioned like D&D esque, there's a game that I have somewhere. It might be in your area. Here to Slay. It's a fun dungeon boss beating bosses kind of a game. It introduces a little bit minimal of D&D esque of elements, and it's a very simple game to play with card. You have your cards, you're drafting cards, you're playing cards, you're building your hero, and you're getting as much power as you can so you can defeat the enemies. But before other heroes destroy those enemies because you're trying to get the most points, and it's a very fun game. They even implement that. It introduces a great way to introductory to D&D without the craziness of the rules and the player builds. Like that's a great one. Do you have anything else? Another one before we dive into the next taco?
Well,
there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a good amount of them, but let's like maybe another mechanism. I was telling you about it right before we started recording the episode. I think like it had some like they were like one was in 6th grade, the other one was in middle school.
Okay.
My girlfriend's friend came over, brought her 2 kids, and I was thinking, what game should I try to teach him?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh hey, you know what? Everdell looks really cool. You got a bunch of cool little animals. You get this cool little 3-dimensional tree that you can have with objectives.
Yeah.
And it's pretty simple. You're going to move your little piece to the different areas. It's a worker placement game.
Oh,
you're going to
okay.
gather resources.
Yeah.
And then you're going to build your little tableau of characters, little engine scoring mechanism. I think Everdell is actually a pretty good game to teach kids. Now, obviously, like your mileage, if you will, on this is going to vary depending on like how into this your kid might be.
Yeah.
Her son Andrew was really into it, and like the second I taught him, when it clicked for him, when he was like, if I go here and I get these pieces, that means I can do this, and then I can activate this, which then I can do this.
Yeah.
And he got it. He was like, whoa, I had no idea this was like a thing in board games.
Yeah.
He got obsessed, and
Nice.
he wanted it. Like he's like, can I have the game? Like I
Nice.
want it. So
No, son, this is my game. Go buy your own. Go buy your own.
For Christmas, my girlfriend has been getting her kids board games.
Oh, really?
She got them Flamecraft. She got them Everdell. And even her daughter, who was in like 6th grade, 5th grade, I believe.
Yeah.
Younger girl. When she started to get it, and she was having a blast. Like, I'm going to grab these little blueberries. I'm going to put my little chipmunks here. And they're going to grab this. And like seeing that mental stimulation and like that engagement was really cool. It is a bit more of a complex game.
Right.
It's by no means like impossible.
Yeah.
But like if you maybe teach a kid of yours harmonies or seesaw on paper, and you see that engagement and that like wanting to play more.
Yeah.
100% like Everdell's a really good worker placement introductory game.
Hands
That's
down, yeah.
not overly complicated, but has a good amount of depth that you can like dive into.
For sure. And it's a quick game. I remember it's a very quick game. I think it's like 4 rounds and then you're done. Not to say the rounds aren't long, but like it's a pretty good paced game. It's not a game that's going to take forever to drag and then your kids are going to get bored. I think it'll keep you engaged. And it's a fun game. And actually the artwork and then the board itself, you have this huge tree that's very like crazy thematic 3D tree that you have to build whenever you're playing. It's cool because it's like when I first got the game, I was like, oh, it has instructions on how to build the game, like how to build this tree. Oh, I thought I'm playing with Legos. And so I think, Everdell's a really great game. Again, it's probably like the next step. If your kids are enjoying, Seesaw on Paper and Harmonies or Sushi Party Go and they feel like they want to play more, then I think Everdell would be a great next step forward to do that. But yeah, let's dive into another taco here. I kind of want to save the house specials for last.
Okay.
So we have pollo and I think I got al pastor. Yeah, I got al pastor. So I'll let you pick. Which one do you think?
Let's go left to right, I guess. From my perspective, chicken.
Chicken. Let's go chicken. Go ahead.
You want to grab one?
Yeah, grab one. Let me grab this. They really
pack these boys
in.
in.
They didn't skimp out on the meat. So
what do you think, Vic?
Not my favorite. I think the chicken's a little too dry.
Yep.
The salsa is good, but again, it's very minimal salsa. If I had more extra salsa, I would enjoy it. It's seasoned really well. It has a little kick to it, a little tang to it. But I think I'm thinking the tang is from the salsa itself.
Yeah.
Just eating the chicken itself, it's very dryish.
It's dry and it's like chicloso. It's like
Yeah,
chewy.
it's very chewy. Yeah,
Yeah, it does. It feels like when I like chicken like grilled
yeah,
and nicely chopped up.
yeah.
This feels like I don't know. Like it doesn't have the
Like it wasn't like it's almost grilled, but not
Yeah.
not like they took it out too early.
yeah. It's not like I would have liked it with some char marks on it
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
You
mhm.
know.
I'm a big fan of burnt ends, so I'm okay with that. The salsa saves it a little bit,
Yeah.
not too much, but it's not my favorite out of the ones we had. Like I think we'll move along here. Another card game that I think is a fun game is Scout. It's a fun card game where
I've never played Scout.
never played Scott. I thought we played with you with Scott.
No, I never played Scott. Or never played Scott.
Hey,
Never played
here,
Scout.
Hey, we never played Scott. Yeah, we're talking about you, Scott boy. Scout is a fun. I don't know if it's trick taking. I don't know what to call it. Like I'll give you the premise, and then you can tell me what kind of game it is. You have your cards. They're all numbered, but they're double numbered. So you have a number on top and a number at the bottom. When you get your hand, you cannot rearrange your cards at all. It's whatever the numbers are. But if you don't like the hand that you have, you can flip it, and now you have the other hands around. And the point of the game is to get rid of all your cards, kind of like Uno. The way you get rid of your cards is by playing combos, by either playing single card numbers or playing like 2 of a kind, 3 of a kind, or numerical straight. You know, running cards like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. But other people are playing those cards, and you have to beat their hand. So, for instance, you play a card, now you play a 5. I could play a 6, 7, whatever, higher number card, or I could be like a pair of 2s, and that beats your 1 card. So now your job is to beat my pair of 2s by playing another card. Now, if you can't beat it, you take one of my cards and place it anywhere in your hand to create another combo, and I get $1, and then the dollars are your points at the end of the game. But you're playing cards, but you're just trying to get rid of them. I don't know what you consider that. I don't know if it's
Like a trick taking.
is it like trick taking?
Yeah, you're playing like a. I don't know if it's exactly like a trick taking. I'd have to play it, but if you play down like a number or a suit, and I have to play numerically above that, I have to play the trick. That's like a trick taking game.
It's a fun game. I taught this game to my wife and to my brother. Their attention span is very short. Especially my brothers. My brother's attention span is like, let's go, let's play a game. And I don't want to play long games. My wife is as well. I mean, she'll play long games with me, but she prefers quick games. She loves playing Scout. Scout's a really quick game. Play cards and move around until someone gets rid of their hand. And then you count out the points. And you can either end it there, or you can play the full game where it's like, as long you play until everyone has gone first at least once. Once everyone's gone first, then that's it. The game ends. You count up all your points, and then that's the end of the game. The artwork, there's not really much of an artwork. It's just simple cards. The theming is circus, like you were circus owners trading like employees and getting new employees. No one really cares about the storyline. I'm sorry, Scout, but like no one really cares about your storyline. It's just more about the mechanics of the game, and the mechanics are really nice, very simple, very easy, trick taking. So that's my recommendation for Scout. What's your recommendation? What do you think? What else would you want to throw out there?
Another one I would throw out there is they've been taking some of the more complicated, popular games and making like kid series of them.
Okay.
So like the Castles of Burgundy.
Yeah.
There's a version that came out called the Sand Castles of Burgundy, which is basically like a more younger friendly version of Castles of Burgundy.
Really?
With some simplified mechanics and not as intense of like a what would you call it? Like it's more just a simplified version of the game that you could play more friendly with kids.
Right.
There's like My First Catan, which is a version of Catan that's intended to be a bit smaller scale, less intensive for you to teach your kids to play. My First Ticket to Ride. That's another one.
Yeah.
Ticket to Ride alone, I think, is a great introductory kids game.
Yes.
But if you want a smaller one, more kid-friendly one, My First Ticket to Ride. So like there's clearly like a demand for friendly games.
Yeah.
I would recommend if you have a game that you really like and you want to introduce your kids to it, see if there's a kid-friendly version for it. I know Castles of Burgundy is one of mine and my girlfriend's favorite board games.
Yeah.
I've never played Sandcastles of Burgundy, but the artwork looks really cute and fun. And it looks like a real simple, quicker version of it.
Yeah.
So I've been considering picking that one up just to like have around to play with my girlfriend when I don't want to set up the whole deluxe Castles of Burgundy setup.
Right.
And just really quickly throw that out, and when her friends come over with their kids, we can set it up and we can play some board games with the kids.
I always heard like they had like the title and a junior at the end, so it'd be like Catan Junior or something like the junior. I've never heard like the My First. You know.
It might be junior. I might be mistaken.
Okay.
It might not be My First. I could have sworn there was a My First something board game.
Something like that, yeah.
There might be a like Ticket to Ride Junior or Catan Junior.
Yeah.
I might be mixing those two up, but they've taken these like very popular bigger S games
And make it more friendly.
and scaled it down and made it a bit more child friendly.
I know Spirit Island did that with Spirit Island Horizons, which is like a more super condensed. Now, it's a little bit on the complexity level, I would say, but it's more friendlier for younger generations, for kids. Because Spirit Island itself it's a complex game, but it's not that hard to pick up. It's just very hard to play because the game is very hard to beat because you're going against the board. My Spirit Island Horizon. I want to say my first Spirit Spirit Island Horizons. It's a game that it condenses it a little bit, gets rid of all like the crazy fluff complexity rules, and makes it a little bit more simpler. I've not played it. Our good friend Eric has played it. He has it. He has every single expansion, but it's a fun
good game, man.
It is. It's a fun game. It's a very fun game. Spirit Island's a fun one. Before we dive into the next tacos, what would you say is a good board game mechanic that is good for kids? We maybe already talked about it, but what would you say is a good board game mechanic that is fitting for kids that they would grasp and pick up for sure?
Yeah. Worker placement, I really like because it tends to be simple and it scales up from there.
Right.
Like the mechanic is I have these pieces, I put them here, they do something.
Right.
I put these here, they do something.
Right.
So that can be a really simple concept to begin to grasp. That's also one of my favorite mechanics.
Yeah.
I love worker placement games. I think that's and it branches off into so many different games. Like if you can teach somebody Everdale, and I think there's actually a junior version of Everdale. If I remember
I might have seen something like that.
But if you teach a kid Everdale and they learn how to do worker placement and they seem interested in it, you can scale it up a little bit. Go from Everdale to like Agricola.
Right.
A nice little farming game.
Yeah.
Where it becomes a bit more complicated because you're planting crops, you're doing a little bit of animal husbandry, stuff like that.
Right.
Caverna is another one. And worker placement is commonly used in a lot of board games because it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's a fun mechanical loop.
Right.
Like I put this guy here, he does this thing. So I put this guy here, he does these things.
Right.
So I really think worker placement or your standard roll some dice and then move your piece along.
So
You know,
like Chutes and Ladders kind of thing.
like Chutes and Ladders, but those tend to be like really
Simple, basic,
like Monopoly, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those aren't by any means a bad game. Like
Yeah.
if I had like a kid that I knew like didn't have a maybe like huge attention span and just like having a cute piece and rolling some dice and moving along the board.
Yeah.
I'd pick up like a fun, like, I don't know, Monopoly, Dragon Ball Z or something.
Yeah,
or
something like that.
Monopoly, Zelda.
Yahtzee or something.
Yeah, something simple where you can roll some dice and move around because dice mechanics are fun. But I if it comes down to like a dice roll mechanic, I like more complicated things like Castles of Burgundy, a dice action selection mechanism.
Right, yeah.
You roll some dice, you see what numbers you have, you look at what's available on the board.
Yeah.
Depending where you put those dice with those specific numbers, different things can happen.
Right.
But that can be a bit more complicated. So I think a simple worker placement is a really good starting ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I would agree. Worker placement's simple. I would even go with not tableau builders. What's another good card drafting? I think card drafting we talked about already. I think card drafting is a great introductory introductory game for kids to understand more mechanics of how card games work and stuff like that. I think they're very good. I would even say worker placement is like approach that with like caution because those can be more complex games that you might have to like pump the brakes on a little bit and just wait on that. Dice selection game. So like where you roll the dice, the outcome of the dice dictates your actions. That might be a little bit more complex too as well. So like proceed with caution with those ones as well. And if you're a parent and you don't know any of these lingos, then don't worry about it. Yeah, just focus on the games that we're talking about here that I think would you guys enjoy, and then we can get more into the lingo later. Or check out our episode that we did about board game lingo. That you get yourself a little educated there, and you might be able to learn something new and stuff. And if you know this stuff, then welcome aboard. Let's move on to the next taco here. We got the al pastor taco, and they don't look really good. But,
No, they look a little dry.
yeah, but I think they could be interesting. So
Who knows, man?
yeah, go ahead.
The seasoning's pretty good,
Yeah,
but the texture of the meat feels really similar to the chicken.
I like it better than the chicken for sure. I kind of almost like it better than carne asada
Oh, really?
a little bit.
The seasoning?
Because the seasoning is much better.
Seasoning's really
I
good.
think the seasoning is really good. The salsa's saving it as well. Again, I wish we had more salsa. So, if there's any taco spots out there and you don't provide salsa, shame on you. Shame on you, because we need salsa. But I guess it's the same thing. Would you consider too much salsa the equivalent of like putting too much soy sauce when you eat sushi?
I think like salsa is a piece of the puzzle for a taco.
Right.
A taco with no salsa ain't a taco for me.
Yeah.
Like I need some salsa on it. It should complement the seasoning of the meat and give it a good flavor. 100%. Like if you're drowned in that thing in salsa, maybe there's something off with the seasoning of the meat that ain't able to complement it well. Or maybe your salsa just is a little too dull and doesn't have the right flavors to it.
Yeah.
I like it. I would love it for them to provide an extra bit of salsa, you know, so you could
Right.
pour a bit more extra on top of it and have
Get a
it
little
taste like
kick
that.
to it, you know?
But it doesn't have to be drowned in it. 100%.
Right.
I like the asada more.
Masala more?
Just because I love asada, carne
Right,
asada.
right.
This is okay. I just something about the texture of the meat that I don't. Is this pork? Maybe.
I'm not sure. I ordered al pastor. They didn't tell me exactly. The more I'm eating it, the more I'm actually kind of liking it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than carne asada for sure. Better than chicken,
Yeah.
but I feel like the texture. Yes, I can agree with you with the texture, but I prefer that kind of texture for al pastor than with chicken. It has a similar texture with the chicken, but the chicken's supposed to be more grilled, more a little bit more seasoning, and more. I don't know if you want it moist, but you know, however you want it. I think the seasoning for the al pastor is really good. It's up there with the. I like the asada a little bit more for sure, but the al pastor is like right at its heels for sure. I mean, my number one was the shrimp. The shrimp one was good. I think that was above that kind of stuff for sure. But I think this al pastor was not too bad for sure. It's great on that one. But as we're getting ready to almost round off the podcast, we got one more taco to go. We can talk about some last minute games, honorary mentions. Do you have any games that you want to honorary mention that you think we should talk about?
Let's see.
Well, not honorary mention, but like talk more about.
Yeah, some games to talk more about. Friendly for kids. Vitala Serta games. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah,
joking. Yeah.
Reiner Knizia.
yeah. Let's teach him some real. Teach him some On Mars or Weather Machine.
Twilight Imperium. Here we
Oh,
go.
man, here we go. Get ready, kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here for 6 hours.
Nobody move, no patent breaks.
I think Kings of Tokyo is a really good.
Oh, yeah.
really good introductory.
That's a
kids game.
great game, yeah.
That's a fun, just craziness is going on. I want to be Godzilla. You want to be King Kong. You want to be some giant bunny with a death laser beam.
yeah.
And we're jumping into Tokyo. And we're rolling dice. And we're just trying to get as many claws. And it's like a push your luck kind of game.
Yeah.
Where you're going to roll 6 dice. And you're going to keep these dice. You get like, I forget exactly 100% like how it's going to work. But you want to try to find pairs and gather energy to power all your crazy little monster cards that you get. Like you get like a death laser beam, you get giant feet that allow you to stomp around and do damage to things. The only I guess isn't a downside to the game, but one thing I don't really generally like about the game is it's one of those games that's better with a good amount of people.
Yeah.
So if it's just like you and your kid and it's just a 2-player game, you can't play the game with 2 players. You need at least a third person. And I think the game's a lot of fun when you've got like 4 or 5 people at the table.
Yeah, like chaos.
Yeah, 4 or 5 kids just duking it out, trying to get into Tokyo and be the king of Tokyo.
I think I have it somewhere.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah.
So I think King of Tokyo is a fun, simple, just throwing dice around, having a good time game.
Yeah, it has a lot of elements of Yahtzee. If you've played Yahtzee before, where it's like you roll your dice and you have 2 more chances to like re-roll your dice if you don't like the outcome. Because your goal is, yes, to get yourself into Tokyo. If you're in Tokyo, you're getting the most points. And then, the most points is the king of Tokyo. You become the kaiju, the number one kaiju there. But when you're in Tokyo, everyone else is trying to get in there, so everyone's attacking you, and you can't attack back. So you have to defend yourself, or leave Tokyo, and then someone else comes in, and so the cycle keeps going. You're going in and out, attacking. You're using energy to use your cards to like get an edge, and it's very simple. Just get energy or attack someone.
Yep.
That's all you're doing. And the artwork is great. I love the artwork.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not allowed to use Godzilla or whatever these creature names, but they have similarities. They look. You could tell like, okay, this is Godzilla.
Yeah, 100%.
His name is Rawlilla or something like some name that's like supposed to like King Boba or something like that. Something like that. A fun game I would recommend it. They have two versions. They have the regular version and like the dark version.
Yeah.
I have the regular version. I don't know what the difference is. It might be just the color scheme, maybe, or
I think so. Also, different like ability cards. I have the regular version too.
Yeah.
I don't have the dark version of
yeah.
it, but I don't think it's dark as in like creepy. I just think it has like different
color
artwork.
scheme.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like an example would be like on your phone when you can change like your light mode or dark mode, and it's all dark. Same thing like that. It's like light mode, dark mode. I don't think there's any difference with that. King of Tokyo is a great one. Yeah, thanks for bringing that one. That was a fun one. Super simple. I would recommend that. Highly recommend that one. It's a great introductory, along with like Sea Salt, like playing a fun game. If they like duking it out and fighting with dice, it's a fun game that you guys might enjoy as well playing there. Okay, let's have this last taco here so we can round off this podcast. We've been rambling so much about board games. We can always ramble about board games, but I don't want these tacos to get cold. So this is the house special.
Oh, an honorable mention.
Go ahead, please.
No, he's an honorable mention, but I was thinking about like fun like racing games.
Oh, yeah.
Racing games are pretty fun. And
Yeah.
I think there's a racing game I have called Flamme Rouge or something like that.
Okay.
It's based off of the famous bicycle race that happens in I think it's France or Spain. Super simple card game where you're playing sets of cards and you're moving your bicyclists. If you keep them in the line, you have an upstream movement where you get bonus movement for them kind of cutting the wind so you can ride up behind them. But it's a super simple game. There's something fun about moving these little bicyclists along the map. So highly recommend that. I'm sure, like, do you think Formula D would be a pretty fun kid game?
Yes, hands down. I think it is a fun game because it's just dice rolling. And you're just trying to, it's one lap. So you're just trying to race. So if your kid's like into F1 racing or NASCAR racing, this is a fun one where, you just get your dice, you go in gears, you change your gear. The higher the gear, the bigger the dice is, the more faster you can go. The faster you can go, but you have to be careful on turns because you have to make a certain number of stops on a turn. Otherwise, your car tolls out and crashes. They have two modes. They have like a basic mode where it's like your car has this amount of health. If it loses this much of damage, you're out of the race. And then they have like a more detailed version where it's like now you have to watch your brakes, your suspensions, your gas, your car body, stuff like that, wear and tear of your body. So you have to manage your car now a little bit more, which is a little bit more complexity. Still a little simple, but more complexity. But they offer that vanilla mode where it's just basic, like you have 14 health, that's all. And just survive the race for 14, with 14 health by not crashing, don't bump into anybody, make your turns, and see how fast you go. It'll come down to the dice roll. Great game. I was almost going to recommend Heat, but Heat is a little bit more...
There's a bit more to it.
More card strategy, kind of a lot of things are going on. It's I think if your kids love Formula E, that Heat is another step up. Kind of like Everdell. It's like another step up where you have to think of which cards you're going to play. You're using a lot of math. So, parents might be like, yeah, math. Teach our kids math. Yeah. It's a great game to like with math, using math mechanics and figuring out how can I make this turn. If I play these cards, I'll be able to. If not, I'll spin out. So that's a fun one, Heat. But if you just want to go simple dice rolling, have fun, see how fast you can go, luck of the dice, Formula D is a good one. And then your bicycling game is another good one as well. Honorable mention that I'd like to add is a game called Once Upon a Time. I think it's like right there somewhere.
I've never played it.
It's a fun, creative story game to play with kids. I would highly recommend this game if you want to get your kids like creative juices rolling. It's a storytelling game where pretty much what it is everyone gets an ending. everyone has an ending on their card.
Okay.
You know, the moral of the story was you can't trust the witch or something, or the moral of the story is, you know, you don't wish too much, whatever. Everyone has a different ending. And your goal is everyone's going to communicatively tell a story, and everyone's trying to reach their ending. And the way you reach your ending is by telling your story, and you have card elements on your cards.
Okay.
So you have like a card that has like a princess, or you have a card that says like a well or something. And so on your turn, you have to go, hey, once upon a time, and you start telling the story. There was this king who was very sad. And they're like elements, so different elements. So there's like it's like adjectives, you know, and nouns, person, place, or things. All that is in your card in your hand, and you're playing stories. But I'm trying to reach my ending. You're trying to reach your ending. So the way you try to reach your ending is you start interrupting my story by asking questions, saying, "Oh, what kind of well was that? What kind of well was it?" I'm like, "Oh, it was a small well." And if I say small well, I said the word small, and you have the card small. I'm like, oh, it was a small well. So you interrupted my story. So now the story goes to you. So now you continue from where I was going, and now you start playing your cards.
That's pretty cool.
And so when you're done, the way you get to your story is you got to play all your cards and then finish off the story. So, but it has to make sense and reach your ending. It's a very creative game, very fun game to make yourself think and improv and come up with these elements. You also learn a lot about like, what is timid? What is a timid? You know, it's a feeling and stuff. So these cards have like words on there, like trying to figure out what it is, and it makes you think and makes you like learn new adjectives, and new words. Phenomenal game to play. I think it's a great game. It could get very not competitive, but very. A lot of people will be yelling because everyone start like trying to like interrupt your story, and you're like, wait, let me just tell my story. And so. It also could be very stressful because you're like, I don't know how to tell a story. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say because you're trying to get to the ending. A great game, great creative game. I think it's a fun one. Kind of like Dixit a little bit.
That sounds like fun.
But it's a fun one. Definitely recommend that one for sure if you're trying to play some creative games here. But let's dive into this last taco, man. The house special. So the house special is top sirloin roast beef, grilled onion, scallion, house salsa, and chipotle aioli.
Ooh.
Aioli or aioli? Aioli?
Aioli, I think.
Aioli.
Aioli.
Italiano. I'm curious about that. This one's look messy.
Yeah, this is going to be a messy one. I'm going to grab one of these lids as a plate.
Go ahead. There you go. All right. Brick and Flour, you've been good to us. You were good. Tacos. Your chicken is okay, but I mean, some people like that stuff, so it's all right. Not on my favorite menu. Your shrimp tacos were bomb. They're delicious. Your salad was good. Your al pastor for me personally was good. So very good tacos. Not a fan of the tortillas, but you guys do some good flour tortillas. But what do you think? How is it? He's like, not special enough.
It's really good. It's not your traditional taco. The salsa has a good amount of kick to it. It's definitely a stylistic taco, if you will. What are you thinking? You don't like it?
I like that sauce. That's creamy sauce. There's the chipotle sauce. The chipotle aioli. That's actually really good. The meat's okay, but I think with the sauce and everything added, I think it's really good. It's good. Not shrimp levels good. I think you guys nailed down the shrimp tacos. They're very delicious.
I'd go get like 3 or 4 shrimp tacos from there for sure.
I would too, for sure. I would hands down. I would put this above the chicken taco. I think this taco is really good. But not better than the al pastor, not better than the carne asada for me personally. What do you think? Do you think this is better for you than al pastor, or would you put the al pastor better than al pastor?
For me, I like the roast beef texture more than I like the al pastor. If I was to go back to this place, I would get this and the shrimp tacos.
Really? Is this over the carne asada?
On par with the carne asada, but I feel like this has enough of a uniqueness that it's like, if I'm going for a carne asada, I'd rather just like make it with my folks, you know?
Yeah,
I got a home seasoning recipe and stuff that, well, it's really hard for that. We grew up with Mexican families, so eating like my mom, nothing beats my mom's tacos.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, hands down.
I would pick this over the asada. I think that chipotle seasoning.
Yeah.
Now, if I had another asada and some extra salsa, maybe I could, put over there and maybe that changed some things.
Brick and flour, come on, man.
Give me some, where's my limon? I need some lime to sprinkle on top of it, you know?
They figured, like, we're already putting it on the taco. You don't need to put it on. Come on, man. Come on. You know how Hispanics do. We need the cilantro, cebolla, the limon, the rabanajos.
Yeah, give me that on the side to bite and everything.
Yep, for sure. I think I agree with you on that one. I think this taco I would go get instead of a carne asada taco because I'm going there for the specialty. I'm trying to get the specialty. I'm not carne asada taco I can find somewhere else, wherever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, go home and eat it there. if I'm going for specialty, yeah, I would go with the house special. It's really good. The texture is really good. That chipotle aioli is really good. The top sirloin roast beef is also good. I mean, you got some tomato in there, some cilantro in there as well. Better than the chicken. But I feel like if I had some salsa, and again, we keep saying salsa. If you had some salsa or some other seasoning for the chicken, I think it could bump it up for sure. But since we kind of got this basic, it is what it is. But I'm going to finish this taco up here. Any closing thoughts? Anything? Or any advice you want to give to parents when teaching board games to their kids or nephews or stuff like that? Yeah. What would be some good advice when it comes to like trying to introduce board games to your kids or?
That's a hard one, right?
Yeah,
because like when I learn board games and I teach board games, I have like. I try to embody my inner Rodney Smith. I don't know if you've ever seen his
Watch
videos.
It Played, yeah.
Yeah, man. Watch It Played, 100%, man. Man's out here doing the Lord's work. Sometimes you don't even need books. You don't even need the rule book.
You just watch Rodney Smith.
Watch Rodney Smith and have him break it down for you.
Yep.
The thing is that, like, that's good for, like, an older crowd. And even with an older crowd, sometimes they check out. You're explaining the rules, and after 10, 15 minutes, they're like, dude, I forgot what you said. So I would say try to pick a game with not as big of a rules overload. Something like Sea Salt and Paper, Harmonies, stuff like that. If you're teaching them Everdale, ideally you've already taught a couple of other games where you can offload a bit more information on them and they've got the feel for it. But I would say pick a simple game so that you don't lose their attention span. And if you can teach them as they're playing it, that would be ideal. Harmonies, you can give them a brief explanation like, hey, I'm going to play the turn. I'm going to grab these pieces. I'm going to put them here. I'm trying to do blank. Now, the complexity comes in the pattern building and everything, but you get that going for them. It'll be fine. I'm doing Sea Salt and Paper. The cool thing is that Sea Salt and Paper, you can take the first turn and be like, hey, look, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to put this down. And I'm going to put these two down, because I do this now. I think having explanations and demonstrations of things go a long way, as opposed to just blah, vomiting out, like, here's a whole rule book in 20 minutes. It's good to have explanations. And even Rodney Smith, when he does his videos, one of the big things he does is he gives examples, and like having those visual examples make all the difference, because you might read something and interpret something. Yeah. And then you might be doing the game wrong. Yeah. But by all means, don't be afraid of teaching the game wrong the first time. Just have fun. Yeah. You're there with your kids. You're trying to have a good time. If they're doing something wrong, but they're having a good time, who cares? They'll learn later on. If you want to get a bit more competitive with it and teach them how to play a bit more complex, you'll learn later on. One of the things with board games, I was reading up on a forum recently, was how some people have been playing some games wrong for years. Yeah. And it isn't until later on they watch a play video because they're like, why not? Let's watch a YouTube video of people playing it. Yeah. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. We've been doing this wrong the whole time. Yeah. But at that point, it's like, you can debate it. Like, we're not going to like the World Series of board games to play like the top competitors. Right. At the end of the day, you're on a table with your kids, your family, and you're just trying to have fun. You know, get the simple rule set of it down and just have a good time. Yeah. As your kids get older, if you're really big into board games and they're really big into board games, you'll start picking up where you might be wrong and changing it. Yeah. But I mean, I've played tons of board games where we have house rules. And we're just like, you know what? I enjoy this game more playing it my way. Yeah, for sure. So we just play it my way, kind of a thing. So I think, don't be afraid to just kind of have fun with it. Get the understandings of it down, because, part of the fun of it is the structure of the game. If not, we're all just doing random stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you're into. But there's something about, like, at the end of the day, what makes a board game fun is the structure and working within these parameters and doing these fun things on top of the artwork, on top of the pieces. So I think, but, just enjoy yourselves. And if you get some rules wrong or the kids are kind of goofing around, who cares? Let them have fun with it. No, yeah, for sure. It gets them excited to play. No, yeah, for sure. You hit it nail on the head for sure. That one took the words out of my mouth. Advice, have fun with it. Number one thing is, why are you playing these games in the first place? Is to have fun with your kids. Try something new. Get them off the screens and
onto the table to play with friends and to play with your family and to make some memories. Not to say that playing video games you can't make memories, but you're staring at a screen. This is like you're having more interaction with humans, with face to face. You're growing your critical thinking skills. You're growing your reasoning skills. You're growing a lot of skills that could come handy in life and for future. And so these board games could have a good benefit towards the end. Have fun with it. Don't struggle. Don't get mad at your kids if they don't understand the game or anything like that. Maybe it's not a game that they have a good attention span to. Move on to another game, or maybe wait till they're older or figure it out. There's always different other games. If they're not doing their turn right or anything else, again, don't get mad. Just have some fun. Have fun with it. Now, if they're throwing pieces up in the air and like ruining, okay, then like, all right, kid, relax. Like, chill. Like you're trying to play a game. But I would even go to say, play the game first before you even play it with your kids to see how the mechanics work. Get yourself familiar with the game. Yeah, look at some Ronnie Smith videos. Learn how to know what the ins and outs of a turn is, so you can kind of figure out how can I explain this instead of like just reading it off the rule sheet. Yeah. Learn a little bit more. Maybe go with some friends. If you got any core friends that play board games, play with them. And then maybe they can give you some pointers and you can kind of get an understanding of a game. If you're curious about a game and you don't want to like end up buying it and then realize it's too complicated, find a local board game shop or some friends or watch videos of reviews of these board games before you make the purchase to see if you're going to, kids will enjoy the game. Some of the games that we've recommended to you guys, I think are great games for you to try out. They're not expensive games. They're very cheap. Some of these board games can get pretty pricey in range.
Yeah,
and
they can get pretty pricey.
And, but the games we've mentioned like Seesaw and Paper or Scout or Harmonies, not very expensive. They're like in the $20 to $30 range.
About, $30-$40 at most for some of these.
Even cheaper if you get them on sale.
Yeah.
But I think they're great games you could check out. Go small. If I were to give you one recommendation from the list we gave you to go small, Seesaw and Paper. Try that game out first. See how you like it. See if your kids like it. If you can, let's move up. Maybe go for Harmonies. Go up there. I would say if you take away anything from this video is go get Seesaw and Paper. Go get Seesaw and Paper and go check it out. Check out the game. It's a fun game. It's a great game. Again, bear in mind, it's up to 4 players. So if you have a bigger family or if you're trying to play with more people, you might want to go Harmonies or go... Oh, Harmonies is only 4 players too. You might want to go like Sushi Party Go or something else like that. But try out Seesaw and Paper. And if you do try out Seesaw and Paper, or if you're watching this video, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about that game. What are some of your adventures in that game? Some memories you've created with that game? I know Raul and I have had some fun times playing it online, on BGA, in person. It's a fun game. We always get super competitive when we're playing that game. So it's a fun game to make memories, and for sure, it's a good game. But that's it for this episode here. We had some good tacos. Brick and Flour, you guys are good. Just the salsa was kind of dragging there, but you kind of made up with it with some of your tacos, your shrimp tacos. Didn't need salsa. It was good.
Yeah.
Carne asada was good. But again, we could have used a little bit more salsa, but it's okay. You know what? You guys are good. Let us know if you've had Brick and Flour. What are your thoughts on that? It was our first time trying. I've had the burritos, but I mean the burritos has everything inside of it, so it's like I can't.
It's jam filled with stuff. Yeah.
I can't judge it. I can't judge it at all. So, but these tacos were good. Let us know in the comments below what you guys thought. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, follow us on all our socials. We're on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let the Nerd Familia grow. Share this with anyone that you might be interested, especially this episode. If you have parents that are wanting to get more time with their kids and want to play some board games, show them this episode. I think they might get a little educated on some of the stuff, and they might even learn of a new taco spot if you're in the Southern California area, for sure. Go ahead.
Okay, and nos vemos para la próxima.